Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for love for the first half of December. I go live every single day at 5, by the way, so if you want to catch me live, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, notification icon, you can catch me live. Also, I will have financial readings coming out this week as well, but let's see what we got going on for you here. Alright, yeah. This has come up, speaking of the dailies, this has been coming up in your daily readings, the Jack of Diamonds, so I definitely feel like an Earth sign could be coming in for a lot of you. And Nine of Clubs, yeah, I feel like there could be a lot of opportunity here as well. You do have two Jacks coming up here, so if you're single, Jacks just represent people who could be interested in you, and Nine of Clubs is a card of multiple options, so a lot of you might have a lot more options. I feel like saying more options than you realize, so I would definitely get out there and try to meet people, is what I would say to you. I feel like people are desperate for personal interactions, so even just looking at the chart here, I tell a story all the time. Every time I go to the store, like, it's amazing. People in line are like desperate to talk to you, right? I talk to random people all the time, and they just like don't stop talking. I feel like the astrology has been very internal for a very long time, and so people are desperate to talk. And I feel like this goes for love connections as well. I feel like it's actually pretty easy to get into a relationship right now. You just have to like get out there, talk to people. It's pretty simple, is what I would say here. I feel like a lot of opportunity here for you, like I said. And Nine of Clubs says, I do feel like there is a need to make sure that you don't like rush into anything, especially if you've been single for a very long time and then you find somebody. I do feel like this could be talking about quick movement for some reason. Normally I say slow movement, but I'm getting quick movement. So I do feel like there is a need to like just kind of like take your time with it. But, you're off to a great start here. Next you have the Eight of Spades. Again, I feel like you've been resting for a long time, and Five of Spades is like taking a risk. I feel like some of you may be coming off of a divorce. Maybe you got divorced years ago, but maybe now you're ready to kind of like take a risk and get out there and meet somebody new. And yeah, I pulled the next card, King of Hearts. So King of Hearts is a card of love returning to your life. So I especially, again, kind of like I was saying at the beginning, I definitely felt this at the beginning. If you've been single for a very long time, I do feel like there is definitely something new coming in for you, or again, the potential for something new. I feel like some of you are done. I feel like some of you don't want to deal with the difficulties, the challenges, all the other stuff that kind of goes along with love. So some of you might be hesitant with this Eight of Spades. It's kind of like thinking about the depression or the anxiety of like going through a breakup and dealing with that. So I do feel like that could be a challenge for you this month. Next, you have the Jack of Spades. I do feel like this is somebody else, and Seven of Clubs as well. I do feel like you could be attracting somebody into your life who's very intellectual, very like thoughtful, and I do feel like they could be taking their time as well. Maybe that's why, at the beginning of the reading here, it was like kind of saying take your time, because I feel like you could be dealing with somebody who's very like logical in the way that they act. So again, they might come into the relationship very logical, which isn't always necessarily the best thing, again, if you're looking at it too logically. But again, I feel like this is them, not you. I feel like if you are in a relationship, I feel like this could be your partner being super logical at this time as well. They could be very thoughtful and kind of like planning for the future. So you might be planning for the future as well with that Seven of Clubs. I would say, again, just, kind of take your time. I'd say go with the flow, kind of see what happens here. But I do feel like somebody's kind of taking a very logical approach. I do feel like also for some of you, this could be that either you got out of a relationship or the other person got out of a relationship, and so this can be like fresh off of a breakup. So again, that might be why it's saying like take your time. Don't rush into anything this month. Definitely relationships for you, but take your time in the relationship. Next, Nine of Diamonds and you show up as the King of Clubs here. So this is coming up in the fourth position. Fourth position is your challenges in love for this month. Nine of Pentacles here, or Nine of Diamonds, can just say that you are kind of like taking your time. Maybe some of you want to be more independent. It's funny that I said Nine of Pentacles because, people ask me all the time. They're like, do you read the playing cards as tarot cards? My answer is always no. But the Nine of Pentacles is about being independent, and this is you being independent. So that could be a challenge, and I don't really look at that as a challenge. Maybe you just don't want love this month. This came up for one other sign. I can't remember who, but that maybe you just don't want it. Maybe this month you just want to be independent. Maybe this month you just want to focus on yourself, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. For others of you, this could be needing to let go of a past relationship. I've said it before, I'll say it again a bunch of times. This year is like the worst for letting go of a relationship. The number one thing that nobody ever talks about is the fact that we had Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius, and we have Mars retrograde right up to Black Moon Lilith. This happened in July. Then we had the Venus retrograde. Then we had like 3 eclipses this year, and we have this Mercury retrograde right after the Venus retrograde. So it's like the perfect storm for not being able to get over somebody or having a really hard time moving past a past relationship. relationship, and that's what the Nine of Diamonds says. The Nine of Diamonds is a card called the Coffin. It says something needs to die for you to be able to move forward, and again, this could be in you as well. I do feel like for a small percentage of you as well, actually a lot of you, I feel like could just also be focused on work, and that's kind of your main focus. Next, you have the Four of Clubs and the Eight of Diamonds. So I feel like for any of you who I would say got out of a relationship over the past 6 months, I feel like this was very karmic, and I feel like it was here to teach you a lesson, Eight of Diamonds, and I feel like you just need to trust yourself now, listen to your intuition. I feel like intuitively, again, if you're stuck on somebody from the past, I feel like intuitively you know that it was probably, a lesson or just something that had to come into your life for a short period of time, but maybe you're still connected to that person as well, is kind of what I get with both of these cards. I feel like for others of you, this is saying pay attention to the past and make sure to pick new people. North Node moving into Cancer on a very crappy, Chris's crappy astrology here for you, on a very crappy astrological level. North Node in Cancer is like saying move past the past, but also focus on like what mistakes you made in relationships or the other person made, and make sure to avoid that type of person. So that's what I would say there. Definitely trust your own thoughts as well. Trust your intuition. And finally, Ten of Diamonds. So really good card. Again, I feel like some of you could be very focused on money. I also feel like this card is my favorite love card, actually, Ten of Diamonds, even though it's a Diamonds card. To me, it represents being in a relationship with everything, where you kind of have it all. This came up for a couple other people as well this month, and I do feel like you could have that. You could have also, this could be that you are with somebody that other people want. Five of Hearts, jealousy, Ten of Diamonds, being with somebody that other people want. And for the rest of you, again, this can say that work needs to be put in so you can allow relationships to come into your life. Five of Hearts is the birth of a new relationship, though, so I definitely see a lot of potential here. Nine of Clubs says you have too many eights here, too, and the 10. Two eights says you have to put the work in. So like I said, go out in public, talk to people, meet new people. That's probably going to be your best bet. You don't really have any cards of like online dating or anything like that. So definitely put yourself in situations where you can meet people if you want to. For those of you in a relationship, again, it looks really good. It could be very mental, is what I would say. If you are in a relationship, there could be just a lot of, just like a lot of mental weight is what I'm getting. I don't think this is a bad thing. I think it could be that like the two of you are planning for your future, or maybe like one person is kind of more focused on work in their future. So if that's the case, I would say just take time, to be with each other, and then, focus on what you need to focus on. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Hasn't been that great of a month for love, so you definitely have a much better reading than other signs, I would say. But thank you for watching, and enjoy your month.